moth-eaten gargoyle, its core a mournful cry in the stillness. The crow, a solitary sentinel, seemed to guard the secrets of Hollow Creek, its presence adding to the village's eerie atmosphere. Sarah, a young journalist drawn to the allure of the unknown, decided to investigate Blackwood Manor. Intrigued by the local legends, she was determined to uncover the truth behind the mansion's sinister reputation. As she drove into Hollow Creek, a foreboding thunderstorm rolled in, casting ominous shadows over the village. Raindrops, heavy and insistent, pounded against her car like 1,000 tiny fingers. The wind howled like a banshee, swirling fallen leaves into miniature tornadoes. Sarah shivered, a prickle of unease dancing down her spine. She found it unsettling how quickly the storm had descended upon the village. Despite the unsettling atmosphere, Sarah was determined. Armed with her camera and a flashlight, she approached the imposing oak doors of Blackwood Manor. With a deep breath, she pushed against the heavy doors. They groaned open as if disturbed after years of slumber. The air inside was stale and thick with the scent of decay. Dust motes danced in the faint beam of her flashlight. Cobwebs, thick and grey, draped the once opulent furnishings. Sarah stepped inside, the floorboards groaning ominously beneath her feet. Each creak and groan seemed to whisper a warning. As Sarah ventured deeper into the mansion, she felt a presence. The air grew heavier with each step she took, the shadows seeming to close in around her. It wasn't anything she could see or hear, but rather a feeling, an unsettling sensation that gnawed at the edges of her consciousness, making her hyper-aware of every creak and whisper. A coldness that seemed to seep into her bones, chilling her from the inside out. Her breath became visible in the frigid air, each exhale a ghostly plume. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end. She paused, listening intently. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional distant sound that made her heart race. A floorboard creaked in the distance, followed by the soft rustle of fabric. It was as if the mansion itself was alive, breathing and shifting in the darkness. It was as if someone, or something, was moving just beyond the reach of her flashlight beam. Shadows danced at the edge of her vision, elusive and taunting. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest, a mixture of fear and adrenaline coursing through her veins. She could feel the pulse in her ears, each beat a reminder of her vulnerability. She pressed on, her hand trembling slightly as she gripped her camera tighter. Determination mingled with dread, pushing her to uncover the secrets hidden within the mansion's walls. Section 5. The Ballroom Mirror. Sarah's exploration led her to the mansion's grand ballroom. Despite the decay surrounding it, the ballroom retained a haunting beauty. A massive crystal chandelier, its facets coated in dust, hung precariously from the ceiling. And at the far end of the room stood a towering gilded mirror. The mirror, once a reflection of joyous celebrations, now seemed to absorb the darkness of the room. Its surface was clouded with age, obscuring its reflection, yet Sarah felt an undeniable pull towards it, an inexplicable urge to see what secrets it held. Section 6. A Face in the Reflection. As Sarah approached the mirror, the air grew heavy. A cold draught whispered through the room, stirring the dust motes into a frenzy. She raised her flashlight, its beam illuminating the mirror's aged surface. At first, she saw only her reflection, distorted by the passage of time. But then, as she stared deeper into the glass, she noticed a figure standing behind her. A shadowy figure with eyes that seemed to burn with an unnatural light. Sarah gasped, spinning around to confront the apparition. But there was nothing there. Section 7. The Mirror Shatters. Confused and terrified, Sarah turned back to the mirror. The shadowy figure was still there, its form solidifying. It raised a spectral hand, reaching out towards her. A piercing scream escaped Sarah's lips as she stumbled backward. Her back hit the edge of a table, and with a sickening crunch, the ornate vase resting atop it tumbled to the floor. The sound reverberated through the room, and a spider web of cracks raced across the surface of the mirror. With a deafening roar, the mirror shattered, sending shards of glass flying across the ballroom. Section 8 vanished. Sarah shielded her face from the shards of glass, her heart pounding loudly in her chest. As the dust settled, she lowered her arms and looked around the room. The grand ballroom was empty. The shadowy figure was gone. But something felt different. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as she realized she was no longer alone in the room. She spun around, her eyes frantically searching every corner of the room for any sign of life. "Hello?" she called out, her voice trembling with fear. But there was no reply, only silence. Section 9. The Search Party. Days later, when Sarah failed to return home, a search party was organized. They scoured the village and the surrounding woods, but found no trace of her. The search party eventually made their way to Blackwood Manor, dreading what they might find. The mansion stood silent and ominous beneath the overcast sky. The search party entered the manor, their calls of Sarah's name echoing through the empty halls. Room by room they searched, their hope dwindling with each passing moment, until they reached the ballroom. Section 10. The camera's final shot. There, amidst the shattered remains of the gilded mirror, they found Sarah's camera. It was still clutched tightly in her grasp, as if she had been trying to capture something important in her final moments. The camera's lens was cracked, but the memory card was intact, holding the last moments of her exploration. When they developed the photos, they found a series of images documenting Sarah's exploration of the mansion, each one more unsettling than the last. The final photo, taken just moments before the mirror shattered, showed the ballroom in all its eerie grandeur. And standing in the reflection of the broken mirror was a shadowy figure, its eyes glowing with an eerie light, almost as if it was aware of Sarah's presence. Sarah was nowhere to be seen, her presence erased from the physical world. Had she been taken by the shadowy figure, pulled into a realm beyond our understanding? Or had she somehow become trapped within the mirror itself, her soul forever bound to the haunted mansion? The mystery of Sarah's disappearance and the secrets of Blackwood Manor remained unsolved, leaving more questions than answers. The mansion stood as a chilling reminder that some mysteries are better left undisturbed, its dark history casting a long shadow over those who dare to uncover its secrets. Perhaps in time someone brave or foolish enough will uncover the truth, but for now the story of Sarah and the shadowy figure remains a haunting enigma.